Alrighty, good afternoon everybody. Happy Saturday to you. I woke up with a bit of a sore throat, stuffy head this morning. And Kathy Harden, hello, I put my heat on last night too. Hi Frank, hello Kenyon Gray. Oh, wow, I had the day wrong even. Well, that happens when you're retired, doesn't it? That's right, it's Happy Hour Friday game. Yeah, well, honestly, I gave some thought to canceling. But other than the throat, I really don't feel badly. The show must go on. I gotta get one thing out of the way, and then we'll move on to this game. First of all, my condolences to the Phillies. Okay, am I happy the Dodgers won? Of course I am, but didn't want to win it like that. Nobody wants to see a game end like that, and I feel so badly for that kid, Kerkering. What an awful thing to happen to that young man, and I'm not an East Coaster, but from everything I've read, Philly fans I don't think are going to forgive him. I think they need to trade him. I really do. I think they'll crucify that poor kid. Anyway, nobody wants to see a game end on an error, so that was awful. So we've got 2 league championship series participants are set. The other 2 come down to a 5th game. Big one tonight, Detroit at Seattle. I'm also a Mariners fan, but I'll tell you what, they got to go against Scooble. The Mariners should win because they're at home, and the Tigers should win because they have Scooble. The National League, I fully expect the Brewers to win that. They're at home, and I think they have the better team. That and what's his name? Oh God, it's a brain fart. The left-handed pitcher for the Cubs. Shota Imanaga. He hasn't looked that sharp of late. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate it. I'm trying to nip it in the bud. I've got these immune system booster things. Hello, Mike. Hello, Mangler. Well, you know, when you put it that way, Frank, Buckner got over it and even eventually made commercials with Mookie Wilson. So life does go on, I suppose. It has to, right? Yeah, well, you're not far off, Frank. I'll show you what I like. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do this or not. Is this an endorsement? I don't know. Anyway, I like this. And you take 3 of them for maintenance, and then if you start getting sick, you take 3-4 times a day. And they are loaded with zinc. 3 tablets is 209% of your daily zinc. And it's got all kinds of good stuff in here. All of your main vitamins. And then you've got your garlic, echinacea, elderberry, a bunch of other stuff that I don't even know anything about. But I find that they work pretty good. You can get those at any health food store or online. Okay, I turned my attention here to today's game. As I said, I'm going to do the best I can with a scratchy throat, and pressure in the head. You like that one, huh, Frank? I had some lemon tea this morning. I hear you on the water. I definitely don't drink enough water. All right, let's get back to 1966 when life was simpler and pitchers went the distance. Pittsburgh, St. Louis. This is a heavyweight matchup of aces. Bob Veal for the Pirates, Bob Gibson for the Cardinals. Oh, I did, Frank. I just forgot to mention it. Yeah, you had a nail biter there too. Veal on the year is 8-5 with a splendid 2.53 ERA and 14 starts. He's completed 5 of them, including 2 shutouts. 103 and a third innings, just 86 hits allowed, 81 strikeouts. Gibson's 10-3 with a 3.02, 14 starts, 8 complete games, 116 and a third innings, 90 hits, and 96 strikeouts. Well, this is definitely a battle of the aces. If you can see the white out here, I wrote in the wrong game number. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to make any excuses, but I'm just letting you know that I'm really not fully on my game here. I'm going to summon it up though, and we're going to have a game, okay? Here we go. Lineup for the Bucks. Matty Alou leads it off in center field. Gene Alley is at shortstop. Mookie got a hold of Matty Alou pregame. He's getting more aggressive with the playing table. Roberto Clemente in right hits third. Willie Stargell's in the cleanup spot in left field. Jim Pagliarone will do the catching and hit fifth. Jose Pagan gets the start at third base again. Don Clendenin at first. Bill Mazeroski is at second, and Veal, a switch hitter, in the 9 spot. I'm sure he did, Frank. In fact, rumor has it in this game they're starting Corrales because McCarver didn't want to deal with his crap today. No, that's not true. Corrales is starting because there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound for Pittsburgh. All right. Looks like we're about ready to get started here. Here's your umpires. Al Barlick behind the plate, Augie Donatelli at first, no umpire at second base, guess they couldn't afford one, and Stan Landis at third. We've come across that maybe twice this season, the 3 umpire crew. All right, Gibson's ready to go. Matty Alou will start it off. Matty getting 317, 1 homer, 14 RBIs. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be a 1-9 right-handed. A little comebacker knocked down by Gibson, picks it up and throws him out. So a tweener there, right in the heart of Alou's good column. And he bounces out to the pitcher for the first out. And welcome into Ben Witz. Gene Alley still leading the National League in hitting at 374. 3 home runs, 26 RBIs. Gibson with the windup and the pitch. It's a 3-4 righty. Lifts it to right field. Mike Shannon is there to make the catch, and there's 2 away. And that'll bring up Clemente. Roberto hitting 315, 9 home runs, 41 RBIs. Gibson into the windup. 1-9 right-handed. Another comebacker. Gibson gloves it, takes a couple steps towards first, and tosses it to Gagliano for the out. 1-2-3 go the Pirates in the first, and after half an inning, it's Pittsburgh 0, St. Louis coming to bat against Bob Veal. Here's the lineup for the Cardinals. Julian Javier leads off at second base. Phil Gagliano is at first base. Kurt Flood in center field. Mike Shannon in right field hits cleanup. Jerry Buchek will be at third base today. Lou Brock in left field moves down to the 6th spot against the left-handed pitcher. Pat Corrales will do the catching. Dal Maxville at short, and Gibson batting 9th. And Larry traveling long-distance car ride, but don't worry, the wife is driving. That kind of reminds me of the episode of The Office when Jim and Karen are going to go to New York, and so is Michael, and Michael wants to go together, and they want to leave the night before. He says, well, we could party on the way there. We could moon each other. And then they go, how are you going to moon us if you're driving by yourself? And Michael goes, cruise control. Hang on a second. It looks like my dice tray is a little out of the picture here. Part of it. I don't know what's going on with this tripod lately. Okay, that's better. There we go. By the way, Larry, I resisted the obvious comeback there. Took some doing on my part. Julian Javier still trying to get on track. He's hitting just 188. He does have 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. As the left-hander goes into the windup, the pitch is a 2-9 left-handed fly ball into straightaway left. Stargell is right there to make the catch, and there's one down. Phil Gagliano will be up next, hitting 241, no homers, 10 RBIs. Veal with the windup and the pitch. It's a 3-11 left-handed, and he loses him ball 4. A 1-out walk to Gagliano. Let's check the battery. Veal a -1 hold. Pagliarone is 0, so not held at 12. And Kurt Flood steps to the plate. Flood hitting 286, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs. Veal working out of the stretch now. Comes in with a 6-6 right-handed, and it's just outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Veal here in the first inning. And the Cardinals have something going. Mike Shannon due up next. Shannon comes in at 248, 4 homers, a dozen RBIs. Veal, the full windup. Here's the pitch on a 4-8 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Big strikeout there for Veal. And with 2 away, it will be up to Jerry Buchek. Buchek hitting 319, 4 home runs, 27 RBIs. The 27 RBIs, by the way, leads the team. Cardinals have only scored 224 runs on the season compared to 300 for the Pirates. Veal's pitch to Buchek. 5-2 righty, hot smash to third. Pagan has it, fires across to Clendenin, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, 2 left, and we are scoreless after 1 inning. Hello, Bob. Thank you. I think I'm fighting off a cold, bit of a sore throat I woke up with this morning. And yes, as I mentioned earlier to Kathy, I did turn the heater on last night. Temperatures dropping quickly now in Spokane. Still nice enough today, but it's supposed to really fall off the table tomorrow. To the second inning we go. Willie Stargell will lead it off for Pittsburgh. Stargell hitting .288, 13 home runs, which leads the club, and 40 RBIs. Second on the team to Clemente. Gibson will wind up on the pitch. It's a 3-5 righty. Struck him out. First strikeout for Gibson. Pagliarone hitting .241. No homers, 10 RBIs. Somebody else had no homers, 10 RBIs. Am I losing my mind here? Oh, no, I'm looking at, shoot. Pagliarone, .267, 6 home runs, 32 RBIs. For some reason, I was looking at Gagliano. Gibson into the windup. It's a 5-10 righty. Grounded to short, fielded cleanly by Maxville, who throws him out. That'll bring up Jose Pagan with 2 down. Pagan hitting just .214, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. Gibson with the windup. Fastball, 1-4. He goes the other way with it to right. Shannon drifts over and makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Bob Gibson. And surprise, surprise, we're still scoreless. Imagine that with Gibson and Veal pitching. Lou Brock will lead off the bottom of the second. Well, Larry, I should say, just to clarify, for me personally, I don't like anybody else driving. There are 1 or 2 people that I feel fairly comfortable with when they're driving. I like to be the driver. In fact, I always joke about one of the things I don't like about flying is that they won't let me drive. Lou Brock starts off the bottom of the second. Lou comes in at .261, 6 home runs, 25 RBIs. And to show you how little power the Cardinals have, Brock's 6 home runs leads the ball club. Left-on-left matchup. Veal with the 5'8 lefty swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Veal. And here's the catcher, Pat Corrales. Corrales, the backup catcher, plays sometime against lefties. Just 7 for 42 on the year, a 167 average. Veal's pitch on a 3-9 lefty. He lifts it to straightaway left. Barely moving is Stargell, who puts it away for the second out. And here's the shortstop now, Dal Maxville. Maxville hitting .315, 23 for 73. No home runs. Veal comes in with a 6-3 righty, and that's a base hit into left field. The first hit of the ball game is by the little shortstop, Dal Maxville. Well, if nothing else, that'll turn the lineup over. Gibson a 3. He does have end power, right-handed hitter. Veal's pitch on a 6-5, grounder to short X. Tough chance for the Gold Glover, Gene Alley, 217. And here's the play on a 50, and he's there, throws him out, and that'll do it. Nice play by Alley to end the inning. And we're scoreless after 2. So in the early going, the game living up to its pre-game billing, bottom third for Pittsburgh, Don Clendenin will lead things off. Clendenin hitting .302, 12 home runs, 39 RBIs, and if it sounds like everybody in the Pittsburgh lineup is hitting .300, they practically are. 3, 4, 5, 6 regulars over 300 and batting .290 as a team. I love the word wackadoodle, Ben, and I think you made a fine investment there, although I'm personally not a Guinness man, but you know. And there's Dan Port. We missed you, Dan. Your sense of humor, well, you add a lot. Gibson with a pitch to Clendenin. That's a 3-7 right-handed. That struck him out. Called strike 3. Gibson clips the inside corner with a fastball, and Clendenin is not happy about it. Here's Bill Mazeroski hitting .309, 3 homers, 31 RBIs. Gibson, the windup on the pitch. It's a 1-6 right-handed. Mazeroski ground ball to the 6th hole and through into left field. That's the first hit of the game for Pittsburgh. Mazeroski 13, -1 battery for both teams, actually. And here's Veal, a switch hitter. He'll hit left-handed against Gibson, a B bunter. And the Cardinals, anticipating the bunt, bring the infield in. Veal lays it down as a C. It's a 7, and that's good enough to move the runner along. So good bunt by Veal. Mazeroski to scoring position with 2 down, and it will be up to Matty Alou. Gibson studies the runner, studies the signs. The windup down the pitch to Alou, 3-6 righty. Base hit into right field. They're waving Mazeroski around. He will score. And the Pirates take a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Matty Alou. Alou 14 at first. He's going to be held on at 12. And Gene Alley, the batter. Gibson from the stretch now. 6-7 right-handed grounder, second base X. That's the slick fielding Javier, 2E15 to his left. Here's the play on a 12, error range, a 4. On a 15, oh no, it's going to be an error on Javier. And I should clarify, when I say, oh no, I'm not rooting for either team. I was simply rooting for Javier to make the play because he's a good second baseman. So it's first and second now. That'll get Clemente to the plate. Thank you, Frank, for reminding me. I've neglected to mention that. If you go down to the bottom of my main page under posts, I have put up the pictures sent so far. There's Ben there. There's Joel. Joel as a kid with Frank Robinson, and Franklin with Boog Pell. So if anyone else wants their picture, I'll post it. Just send me one. First and second, 2 down. Gibson with the windup. The pitch to Roberto, 6'9 righty, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Gibson bears down and fans Clemente. Pirates settle for a run on 2 hits and leave a pair. And they take a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the 3rd. So far, we're still up and running, Ben. I haven't received any, what do they call that, warnings or strikes. Content strikes. Top of the order for St. Louis in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Javier. Flew to left in the 1st. Veal with the wind-up and the pitch. It's a 2-10 lefty. Grounder down to third. Pagan has it. Throws across to Clendenin, 1 away. Welcoming in Al on a happy hour Friday. Kathy, are you still with us? If I remember correctly, you promised us some beer trivia for a happy hour Friday. Here's Gagliano with 1 away. The pitch from Veal. That's a 2-3 left-handed. Foul ball back to the plate. Pagliarone tosses the mask aside and puts it away. Here comes Flood with 2 down, nobody on. The pitch from Veal. 3-6 lefty. Line drive single into left field. 2 out single for Flood. He'll have to be held on. 14 held on at 12. And the hitter will be Mike Shannon. Shannon struck out in the first. Veal set now. And from the stretch comes in with a 4-9 righty, and Shannon ropes that into center field for a base hit. Double on a 1. It will be a 2-star single. Flood round second and just keeps on going. Flood with blazing speed makes it to third easily. And now the Cardinals have runners on the corners with 2 away, and Jerry Buchek steps to the plate. Oh, yeah, fire away, Kathy. To put it another way, I'll take all the help I can get today. I can't wait to see Dan's photo. Probably be wearing a Nixon mask or something. Or who knows? I don't even want to guess. Here's Buchek. Veal in the pitch. 1-8 lefty. Grounder to short. Alley has it. Throws him out, and that'll do it. And the Cardinals strand a pair. The Cardinals waste a good opportunity there in the third. No runs, 2 hits, a pair left. And after 3 innings of play, it's still 1-0 Pittsburgh. Ben, I'm also neither D nor R, but I am F'd. Well, Frank, in my case, that isn't true. I don't have any cable. I have a bunch of streaming things, and I'm paying about half of what I paid for cable. But your mileage may vary. There's so many different options out there. It's kind of confusing, really. Okay, 4th inning in this ball game. Stargell, Pagliarone, and Pagan due up. Gibson fans Stargell in the second. Here comes the windup and the pitch on a 6-4 lefty. Grounder shortstop X. That's the slick fielding Maxville. 228 down into the hole. It is a 13, and he's got it. Strong throw across in time. Nice play, Maxville, to retire Stargell. Exactly, Mike. Here's Pagliarone 0 for 1. Gibson with the windup and the pitch. 5-8 righty. He lifts it the other way to right field where Shannon is waiting on it, and he makes the catch for the second out. That'll bring up Pagan. Pagan 0 for 1. Gibson into the windup now. The pitch to Pagan on a 4-6 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's strikeout number 4 for Bob Gibson. A 1-2-3 fourth. And the score remains the same. And now we have the first beer trivia courtesy of Kathy Harden. Iron City Beer was chosen to test market this beverage innovation. The year was 1962. And please state your answer in the form of a question. You don't have to. The way you write them, though, Kathy, it sounds like I can hear Alex Trebek saying it. I swear to God. Veal takes the mound. Wow, no to all. Some good guesses there, I thought. I'm going to throw it out and say hard cider. That's all I can think of. Hello, Jeremiah. Woo! Rush with their new drummer. I read about that. Brock struck out in the second. Veal comes in there with a 5-9 lefty. Swung on and missed strike 3. And Brock fans for the second time. Here's Pat Corrales now. The windup and the pitch is a 4-8 righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. Third, fourth strikeout for Veal now. And here's Dow Maxville. Maxville singled in the second. Veal gets the sign. The wind up, the pitch, 4-11 righty. Flies it to left field X. Tough chance for Stargell, a 3-16. Stargell ranging to his left. It's the error range. It's a 6 on a 16, and you can see this one coming a mile away. That's going to be a 2-base error on Stargell. So E7, Maxville to second with 2 down. But fortunately for Pittsburgh, Gibson will be the hitter. Twist off, pull tabs. Man, we're really a lot of good ideas here. Veal's pitch is a 1-8 lefty, and Gibson rips it into left center. Double to 4, and it's going to be a run-scoring single for Gibson, and this game is tied. Unearned run charged to Veal, but Gibson comes through with a 2-out RBI single to tie the ball game. Bob Gibson trying to do it all today. Oh, Dan, I don't think so. I still remember tin cans when I was a kid. And you had to use a can opener with the pointy part. You know what I mean? There was no... I'm not explaining it well. Here's Javier now, 0 for 2. Veal comes set. The pitch on a 6-8 righty. Lifts it to right field. Hanging up a bit for Clemente, who makes the grab, and that'll do it. The Cardinals tie it with a run on 1 hit. The error by Stargell playing big in that inning. And after 4 innings, we're all tied up at 1. Wow. It looks like the panel is stumped. I'm trying to think what else it could possibly be. Malt liquor. No, that's got to be older than that. Ah, the old church key. So it was Pop Tops. And of course, they were pop and pull then. They weren't the ones that stay on the can like we're accustomed to. Okay, bottom third for Pittsburgh. Clendennill started off. He struck out in the third. Gibson with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 3-11 righty. Hard smash to third, fielded there by Buchek, who throws him out. Leather canteen. Here's Mazeroski, 1-for-1. Five, six right-handed. That's going to be ripped into left center. Triple to 9. Here comes the roll. It's going to be a long single for Mazeroski. So that was a big roll right there. In a ball game like this, the difference between a single and a triple is pretty huge. And here's Veal, the switch hitter, a B bunter. Infield in. He's going to do it again. He lays it down as a C. It's an 11C, and he pops it up. First baseman Gagliano will take it. And Veal pops up the bunt. Not a hard thing to do on a Gibson fastball, right? And here's Matty Alou, 1-for-2. Gibson out of the stretch. 5-5 left-handed. It's a single to 9. Alou a weak. Here's the roll. It's going to be a base hit for Alou. All the way to third goes Mazeroski. We're going to take another look at that one. On a 5-5 homer to 9, he rolled the 5, but Alou a weak. He gets the 2-star single. Held on at 12 is Matty Alou. 2 down, and here's Gene Alley. Runners at the corners. Gibson set now. The pitch to Alley is a 6-11 righty. Fly ball to straightaway center. Easy play for Bobby Tolan, and that'll do it in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, a pair left. We're halfway home in a 1-1 tie. Pretty much what we would have expected, give or take. And here's Veal taking the mound for the 5th. You know, if I'd invested better, I could be eating veal every night. It's funny how some things stick with you. What that kooky night foreman said to me back in, 1985. Every time I see Veal, I think of that. Gagliano will lead off the bottom of the 5th. He's 0-for-1 with a walk. Veal gets the sign. It's a 4-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Gagliano. 5th K for Veal. And that'll bring up Curt Flood. Flood walked in the 1st, singled in the 3rd. Whoops. Veal's pitch is a 3-7 lefty. Comebacker. Veal has it, tosses it to 1st, 2 down quickly. That'll bring up Mike Shannon. Shannon 1-for-2. The pitch is a 3-11 lefty. Hard smash to 3rd. Pagan gloves it, fires across to Clendenin, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bob Veal. And after 5, quite a duel here today on a happy hour Friday. Is anybody indulging, I should say, since it is a happy hour Friday? I know Ben is. He's got an 8-pack of Guinness. Well, Kathy, you got another one for us? Does Kool-Aid count? Oh my God. I'm sorry, but that's right there with Tang in my book. I can't. I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I have to admit I have a bias against using powder mixed with water to make a drink, although I realize there are now a lot of very good for you hydrating formulas that come in powder. So times have changed, I guess. All right, sixth inning. Heart of the order for the Pirates. Bob Gibson and Bob Veal locked in a duel here. Clemente 0 for 2. Gibson set. Here's the windup and here's the pitch on a 4-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And he gets Clemente for the second time. One away. Here's Wilbur Stargell. Gibson with the windup. The pitch is a 4-8 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. He fans Stargell for the second time, and it'll be up to Pagliarone, who's 0 for 2. Gibson, the leg kick, the pitch, 1-6. He strikes out the side. How about that? Now we got to tally him up. 3, 4, that's 6, 7, excuse me. That's 7 strikeouts for Gibson. Veal, not far behind, I don't think. He's got 5. Oh, me too. I used to suck that stuff down like candy. Tang, Kool-Aid, all of it. Although when I'd spend the summers at my grandmother's, it was always iced tea. I loved her iced tea. I can get close, but not quite the same. Okay, let's put a 0 in that 6th inning box there, and we go to the bottom of the inning. Veal facing Buchek to start things off. Buchek 0 for 2. 4 hits per side, all singles. The windup and the pitch, 2-5, struck him out. 6th strikeout for Veal. And here's Lou Brock, who's fanned twice. Left-on-left matchup. Veal comes in with a 1-8. He struck him out. So now he has 7 strikeouts. Trying to duplicate Gibson's performance in the top of the inning. Here's Pat Corrales. Veal, 5-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. How about that? Both pitchers strike out the side in the 6th. I'm fairly certain I have not seen that all season. Both pitchers putting on a show here today. For some reason, I remember Crims. Or was it Crim? Maybe I have the wrong guy, Al. Okay, we go to the 7th. Mookie warming up in the bullpen. Jose Pagan will start it off. Pagan 0 for 2, struck out in the 4th. Gibson with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 3-6. Fly ball to straightaway center. Tolan glides over to it and puts it away. Here's Clendenin 0 for 2. Gibson's pitch is a 6'9" righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's number 8 for Gibson. Now we're on strikeout watch as he matches Veal's 8. And here's Mazeroski. Maz 2 for 2. Scored the Bucks' only run back in the 3rd. Gibson with the 5th. 5-12 righty. Comebacker. Gibson a 1E10. Gibson hits. Gibson pitches. Gibson fields. Error range 6 on an E10. He's got that one. Fine play by Gibson to retire the side. And we go to the stretch in a 1-1 deadlock. Who would have thunk? Besides everybody. Did we lose Kathy Harden? I just remembered I was looking for another trivia question there. Well, Frank, you would win that bet. Let's see, we haven't... I think Kathy may have left. Her last comment was Pop-Tops. Anybody else want to try to stump the band? Who's got a trivia question for the stretch? I'm going to fire up the Mookie cam. It's a claw ball for a strike. Well, there's the tail. Let's take a look. Hi, Mookie. What's up, my friend? Just kicking back. He says, quit messing with me. He wouldn't let me have Matty Alou. I'm not happy with you. Well, at least he's doing something. Well, Ben, he had Matty Alou today. I walked away. I set up the table. I walked away to use the bathroom. I come back and the cards are scrambled and Alou's gone. Guys would have laughed if you'd have seen the site, if you could picture this. I'm looking all over the place, exclaiming aloud, where the hell is Matty Alou? Yeah, right? Who's the other one he got a hold of? Leon Wagner, I think, is one. So Mookie has good taste, even in Strat-O-Matic cards. Good point, Ben. But yeah, on a serious note, he is getting more aggressive with the gaming table. Jimmy Key or the church key? Yeah. Okay, bottom of the 7th. It's a tough decision now. Hey, it's really not that tough, is it? Here's Maxville, singled in the 2nd, reached on an error and scored the only run for St. Louis in the 4th. Veal into the windup. That's a 4-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's number 9 for Veal, and 4 in a row. We're not breaking up this party. Gibson bats. The pitch is a 1-8. That's going to be a double to 4. Isn't that what he rolled the last time? And Gibson with his second hit of the ball game. A 1-out single. He says, yeah, stay away from me. I don't need a pinch hitter. Julian Javier will be the batter. He's 0 for 3. Veal, ignoring Gibson at first, goes into the full windup. The pitch is a 5-8 right-handed fly ball to straightaway center. That's Matty Alou on the run and makes the grab for the second out. Exactly, Dan. Gibson has 2 of the team's 5 hits. And here's Phil Gagliano now, 0 for 2 with a walk. Veal set. 3-6 lefty. He loses him ball 4. Second walk of the day for Gagliano. Third walk issued by Veal, and that'll bring up Curt Flood. Now we've got a situation. Action in the Pittsburgh pen as Pete Mickelson begins to throw. One more hit or walk will fatigue Veal, who's in his first endurance inning. That took me a little bit by surprise. I know Gibson's a 9. I kind of assumed Veal would be at least an 8. But he's not. And here's Flood. Veal's pitch on a 1-7, liner to third, single to 6, big play. It's on the 6. Knocked down by Pagan, but he has no play. It's an infield single, and to make matters worse, Veal is fatigued. Well, I guess that solves the problem of should we hit for Veal on the top of the 8th or not. They're going to have to go to the pen now. Let's see if they can double switch with somebody. You're not going to take Mazeroski out. So Veal exits. It's a shame, but he's got to come out. Bases loaded, 2 down in a tie ball game. Six and 2/3, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Just 1 run so far. He walked 3 and struck out 9. We're going to do the double switch with the third baseman. We can bring in Bob Bailey. And Bailey will go in the 9 spot. Take over at third base. He's a 4E21. Pagan exits and the pitcher goes in his spot. And Pete Mickelson will take the mound with the bases loaded and 2 down. Mike Shannon, the batter. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. You're always on it, and I tend to miss it. I just happened to be thinking about Veal leading off the 8th. That's the only reason, probably the only reason I remembered it. That's impressive, Jeremiah. Okay, Mickelson, almost done with his warm-ups. Let's take a look at his numbers. He's 1-1 with 3 saves and a 3.35. Shannon 1 for 3. Mickelson with the pitch. 5-7 right-handed grounder to second base X. That's the Gold Glover, Mazeroski. That should do it. He's a 1E8 to his left on a 16. He's got it. And that'll end the inning. Fine play by Mazeroski to get his team back up to the plate and keep the score tied. The Cardinals leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. Waste not, want not. So we can close the book on Veal now. He gave up only 1 run, and it was unearned. And some interesting trivia by Al. Thank you. Bailey hit exactly .227 in both of his 2 years with the Dodgers. Exactly, Larry. I think you could probably get a 5-year-old to fly these planes today once they're up. Okay, Bailey will lead off the 8th. Came in that double switch on the season. Bailey hitting .286, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. Bob Gibson into the windup. The pitch, a 2-9 right-handed, struck him out. That's 9 strikeouts for Gibson. Here's the leadoff man, Matty Alou. Matty 2 for 3 today. Drove in the only Pirates run. Gibson gets the sign. 6-11 left-handed. Alou lifts it to right field. Can of corn for Shannon. And there's 2 down. Here's Alley, 0 for 3 today. Gibson's pitch is a 5-8 righty. Goes the other way to right field. Shannon moving towards the line as it slices a bit, and he puts it away to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates in the 8th. We're still tied at 1. Cool story, Jeremiah. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. I'm just taking a moment here to collect my thoughts. Pete Mickelson is coming back out there. Buchek, Brock, and Corrales. Pirates down in the bullpen. Roy Face, the righty, Billy O'Dell, the lefty, begin tossing. Mickelson into the windup. The pitch to Jerry Buchek is a 3-9. Base hit to right field. He goes the other way with it. Little inside-out swing and drops it in there in front of Clemente. Buchek playing third base. This is a situation really calls for a pinch runner. And we're going to have one. Red Shanedean's sending in Bobby Tolan to run for Buchek. Tolan, good speed on the bases. 15 held at 13. I might just do that, Frank. I think that's consistent with my style, honestly. I don't think I've ever let Corrales stay in against a right-handed pitcher. Brock with the hat trick today. He whiffed 3 times. That, of course, was all against Veal, the left-hander, now facing the right-handed Mickelson. Mickelson out of the stretch. 1-9 righty, struck him out. And it's the golden sombrero for Lou Brock. Look at that. Oh, man. Yeah, look at that Corrales card against righties. There's no way. Tim McCarver will come off the bench. You called it, Frank. A 3E3 -1. Maxville on deck. Runner being held. Mickelson out of the stretch. It's a 3-7 right-handed high fly ball to right. Backing up a bit is Clemente. He'll make the catch. Tolan holding it first. That leaves it up to Maxville. Mickelson from the stretch. 2-10 righty. Maxville with a base hit into left center. Double to 2. It's going to be a single for Maxville. Tolan to third easily. Oh my, and now look at the jam we're in. Got to do it. You know, guys know I hate to. We're going to have to pinch hit for Gibson. And it's got to be Orlando Cepeda. Game on the line. Here comes Walker. And he's going to make a move. He's going to pull Mickelson and bring in Face. So runners at the corners, 2 down. Roy Face facing Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda, since coming over to St. Louis, 263, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. Face ready. Full windup. The pitch is a 1-9 righty. Grounder back to Face. He's got it. Flips to Clendenin. And Face works out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. What a freaking ball game. Okay, now we need a third baseman. I was trying to figure out a way to leave Cepeda in the game, but I don't have one. I do have an idea, but I'm going to have to take a quick break and use the restroom. Okay, I'm back. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to move Gagliano to third. Get that 5 off of first base. Gagliano, quite acceptable. 4E8 at third. Tolan will stay in the lineup at first base, where he's a 4E8. And just a refresher course, most of you guys that play Strat know this, but up the middle, at the up the middle positions, the range is more important. But at the corners, it's actually the error rating that comes up a lot more often. So a 4E8 at a corner infield spot is actually pretty good. Rest of the defense is fine. And we're going to need a pitcher for the 9th inning. So Gibson goes 8. Allowed just 4 hits and a run. Did not walk a man and struck out 9. Can only be one guy in a game like this. It's going to be Horner. So both teams with their stoppers in there. Horner on the season has just been sick so far. He's 1-2, 6 saves, and a 1.89 ERA. In your face. I love it. Tension mounts as we go to the 9th. Heart of the order up for Pittsburgh, starting off with Roberto Clemente. Clemente 0 for 3 today. Horner gets the sign from McCarver. 3-8 left-handed, high fly ball to left, backing up his Brock on the track, pulls it in. Oh man, Clemente gave it a ride. It's just a loud out to left. And here's Willie Stargell. Horner with the windup. Here's the pitch. 1-7. Struck him out. And it's the hat trick for Stargell today as well. A lot of strikeouts in this game. 2 down. It's up to Pagliarone, who's 0 for 3 with a K. Horner's pitch on a 3-4 lefty. Hard smash to third. Fielded there by Gagliano, who throws him out. Gagliano to Tolan. 1-2-3, go the Pirates in the 9th. I want to thank everybody for being here with me today. As Al said, I'll be here all week. Okay, bottom of the 9th. Let's take a look at the Pirates' defense, which is usually awesome. No need to make any changes there. It'll be the top of the lineup for St. Louis. Julian Javier 0 for 4 today. Face into the windup. It's a 2-7 righty. Routine grounder to short. Gene Alley scoops it up, throws to Clendenin. Here's Gagliano now, looking at the bench. He's now at third base. He's walked twice. He's going to hit. Face comes in with a 2-5. Line drive right at Clendenin. It'll be up to Flood, 2 for 3 with a walk. Face staring in to get the sign. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch on a 2-4. Fly ball to right. Clemente, and we're going to extra innings. Boy, that just figures, doesn't it? David. It is what it is. Well, a gem of a performance by Veal and Gibson. Unfortunately, neither starter will have anything to do with this one. In fact, it looks like neither will face because he's due to lead off the 10th. And Pittsburgh will once again go to the bench. Billy Odell will be next in line. Facing Horner. Well, there's only one choice for this spot, isn't there? Now, batting for the Pirates, Manny Mota. Mota hitting .329 on the season. Horner into the windup. It's going to be a 3-8 left-handed grounder to short. Gobbled up by Maxville. Throws to first, one down. That'll bring up Don Clendenin. Horner gets the sign. 4-11 righty. Base hit up the middle for Clendenin. And the go-ahead run is aboard here in the 10th inning. Horner, among other things, with that beautiful -4 hold. And catching now is McCarver, so a -5 battery. Clendenin not held at 10. And the batter will be Mazeroski. Maz has 2 hits on the day. Horner set from the stretch. It is a 6-9. Grounder to short X. This could be 2. Maxville, a 228. Ranges up the middle on a 5. He's got it, but his only play is to first. On the play, Clendenin takes second. And the batter will be Bailey. Bailey in the 9 spot now. Bailey struck out his only at bat today. That, of course, was against Gibson. Horner with the windup down the pitch. It's a 5-11 right-handed. Hard smash to third. That's going to be Gagliano, who throws him out. No runs, a hit, 1 left in the top of the 10th. St. Louis coming to bat in the bottom of the 10th against the new pitcher. So Billy Odell will be the 4th Pittsburgh pitcher today. Odell has not pitched yet for the Pirates. Remember, he came over recently in a trade. His numbers with the Braves: 3-2, 3 saves, 2.97. And Mike Shannon will start things off. Shannon 1 for 4. Odell with the windup. It's a 5-10 righty. Grounder down to first. Clendenin has it. Feeds. Odell covering. 1 away. We got to look at least look at the St. Louis bench now. This is not a good matchup for Tolan. They don't have a lot they can do. They could put Gagliano back to first base. He's a 5 there. They don't have much choice here. This is not a spot for Bobby Tolan. Charlie Smith off the bench. He can go to third. With Gagliano moving back to first. So Charlie Smith steps up to the plate. Smith on the season, .322 average, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. Second on the team in hitting to Tim McCarver. Odell into the windup. It's a 5-7 swung on and missed, strike 3. Smith down on strikes, and it'll be up to Brock. Brock has struck out 4 times today. Odell on a 1-3 grounder down to first. Clendenin will take this one to the bag, and we're going to the 11th. So Smith at third base now. .318. Gagliano's back to first base. And Horner coming out for his 3rd inning of work. It's his 2nd endurance inning. But hey, he's Joe Horner. I have to admit, I am getting tired. I didn't expect this today. Okay. Let's take a quick look at the Pittsburgh bench. The catcher, Lynch. Andre Rogers. They got 2 catchers, May and Gonder. Lou will bat. 2 for 4 today. Horner comes in there with a 1-4 lefty. Alou, ground ball up the middle and through into center field, and Alou is aboard to start the 11th. Horner, of course, that -5 battery. Alou not held at 10. Going to be very tough to run here for Pittsburgh. Gene Alley, the batter. Bunning situation, to be sure. But with the league's leading hitter, he's going to hit. .210, he pops him up on the left side. That's going to be Smith making the catch. Odell came for the Braves, from the Braves. Here's Clemente, Stargell on deck. Horner out of the stretch. Mr. Roberto on a 1-7. Grounder to short with the runner held. No, he was not held. Not held at 10. Maxville to Javier to Gagliano. Double play. And that'll be it for Horner. He's gone 3 innings. We move to the bottom of the 11th. No ghost runner. Are you mad? Space Ghost. I don't know why that triggered this memory, but how many remember Gigantor? I'm not sure why Space Ghost made me think of Gigantor. I guess because I watched both of those as a kid, I suppose. Odell in his 2nd inning of work. St. Louis, their bullpen in better shape than the Pirates. McCarver will lead it off. A left-on-left matchup. Odell comes in with a 6-3. Fly to left field X. Tough chance for Stargell. Hold your breath on this one. 3-6-3. It is a 3, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Stargell couldn't get there, and McCarver is aboard. McCarver, one of the few star-stealing catchers in the set, but Odell has a -5 hold. McCarver not held at 10. Sound like a familiar story. And Maxville is going to drop one down. 6 on a B, bunts it to third, and the runner moves up. McCarver in scoring position with 1 away, 1 through 12 runner. That'll have to be good enough. The Cardinals do not have another catcher, but they will have to pinch hit for Horner. Horner goes 3 innings. Let's see what they've got. They don't have a lot left either. Adele, a backwards lefty. Skinner's out of the question. Francona, Spezio, Alex Johnson. It's easily Spezio. Ed Spezio will be the hitter with 1 out in the 9th, winning run at second base. Spezio on the year, 2 for 11. He does have 1 RBI. One of those hits a double. Odell gets the sign. 6-7 righty, flies it to straightaway center. Alou is there and makes the catch. Can he tag on that? Fly to center B, or is that only to right? That's only to right. Okay. Spezio is retired. It's going to be up to Julian Javier, who's 0 for 5. Odell studying the signs. Here comes the pitch. It's a 6-10 grounder to short X. That's Alley. Alley at 217. Here's the play. It's going to be at 18. He's got it. Throws him out, and we're going to the 12. Fine play by Gene Alley, by the way, to end the inning. It's time to start splitting the boxes. Stargell, Pagliarone, and the pitcher's spot due up. St. Louis is going to go to Hal Woodashik. Woodashik, the lefty. Need a little bit more room there to see the card. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, that's what I thought. I want to double check. I knew you'd answer quickly, and I appreciate it. All right, where are we at here? 12th inning. Stargell, Pagliarone on the pitcher's spot to face Hal Woodashik. Woodashik on the season. 2-2, 2.83. I think a fine year. Stargell 0 for 4, struck out 3 times. Woodashik into the windup. The pitch to Stargell on a 6-5. It's a high fly ball to right field. Backing up is Shannon at the track, at the wall. He makes the catch at the wall. Stargell gave it a ride. How many were hoping for a 1-2 there? I have to admit I was. Here's Pagliarone, 0 for 4. Woodashik's pitch is a 5-5, swung on and missed, strike 3. And now we'll have to have a pinch hitter for Odell. So Odell works 2 innings. That leaves the Pittsburgh pen at McBean, Sisk, and the uncarded Perky. They got to be looking for an all or nothing shot here. So it's got to be Jerry May. Only guy on the bench with a shot of hitting one out, albeit it's a slim one. May standing in. The pitch from Woodishik on a 4-9, grounder to short X. That's going to be Maxville, 228. Here's the play. On a 6, he makes a fine play and throws him out. X, Jerry May is retired. Both benches running very thin now. Righty's coming up. Pittsburgh's going to go to McBean. So Al McBean comes on in the bottom of the 12th. McBean 2-1, 3.73 in the replay. Look at the St. Louis bench again. Gagliano at third. They do not have another third baseman. Francona and Alex Johnson on the bench. Gagliano will start it off. McBean into the windup. That's a 2-7 right-handed, and he walks the leadoff man. It's a rough way to start the inning for McBean. -3 hold. Gagliano not held at 10. And the batter will be Curt Flood. Flood 2 for 4 with a walk. McBean working from the stretch. The pitch is a 2-8 right-handed. Banged into left center. Triple to 4. It's a long single. Oh my, 1 through 4 would have ended it. But on a base hit, Gagliano goes all the way to third. And now the winning run just 90 feet away with nobody out. Flood not held at 10. Mike Shannon will be the hitter. The Pirates will pull the infield in. Charlie Smith on deck. Shannon hitting 248, Smith hitting 322. They're going to pitch to Shannon. Infield in, runner not being held. McBean's pitch to Shannon is a 2-4, high fly ball to left field, 1 through 11. That's going to go as a single, and the game is over. 2-4 homer to 11 triple. He got the 14. A single is all that's needed. And the Cardinals walk it off in the bottom of the 12th. What a freaking ball game. It seems like they just keep getting better and better lately, doesn't it? 2-1 Cardinals. Woodishik picks up the win. That makes him 3-2. McBean takes the loss. He's 2-2. Well, let's total them out here. Horner in 3 innings gave up 2 hits, no runs. No walks, struck out 1. Woodishik a 1-2-3 12th with 1 K. He gets the win. Mickelson in his inning gave up 2 hits, no runs. Walk, nobody, struck out 1. Face in 1 1/3, 4 up, 4 down, no walks, no strikeouts. Odell and his 2 gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks and a strikeout, and McBean did not retire a batter. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Franklin. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Mangler. Thank you, Mike, Kenyon, everybody. Felt like kind of a marathon for me today, but we made it, didn't we? Player of the game. Everybody seems to like Shannon. That's good enough for me. I'm not even going to think about it. I'll just go with the group here today. It's Shannon. Okay, tomorrow, what do we got? Day will be tomorrow. It might even be both days, Ben. I might decide to make up for Wednesday or whatever day I missed. Depends how I feel, too. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. If I feel worse, I may have to postpone. But for now, I'm going to schedule it. It will be the last game on the docket for June the 15th, and it's Baltimore Orioles at Washington Senators. Wally Bunker versus Dick Bosman. 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. I forgot the hits. Cardinals, 2 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Pirates, 1 run, just 6 hits, 1 error. And the error was costly. It led to a run. Who was the error by? I don't even remember now. It was, oh yeah, it was Javier. Thank you, Kathy. You are still here. Well, I didn't see another question. I just assumed you bailed out. All right, I'm going to get some lunch. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate all you being here. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, at 1:30. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy the game tonight.